want people to recognize about Gateways that it provides just that, a gateway for children with special needs and their families to begin their journey on the sort of continuum of Jewish education and Jewish life.
We use the image of gateways as a way that if you're entering the world of Jewish education, there may be different paths you take, and there may be different gates that you enter. But the goal is ultimately that every Jewish child should be able to enter the gate into a Jewish education.
Mira is one of the most content, happy, grounded, entertaining individuals I've ever known.
She's an energetic, excited, fun-loving, sort of even thrill-seeking type of girl.
She inspires me, and I think she inspires others. As a kid who has so many challenges, she goes through life with an amazing sense of humor and happiness and forgiveness.
Levi is an amazing 9-year-old boy who has a tremendously inquisitive mind. He's got a great imagination. He's a very special kid.
He's very loving, he's very sweet, and he's incredibly sincere. He just brings a sincerity and a purity of spirit to all of it, and I have a sense he won't ever lose that. It's very nice.
Ben is very special. I mean, words are not going to describe Ben. Ben is Ben. He's, I keep saying that, you can put a lot of labels and diagnoses and letters, and there's, in our life, there's only 3 letters, B-E-N, and Ben is Ben. And he needs that because he needs an identity like everybody else. And Gateways provide him with a Jewish identity. We keep a Jewish home, we provide as much as we can, but it's good until a certain point. And unless you feel part of a bigger community, it's not going to be enough.
I had heard about Gateways through a friend of mine who was involved with Gateways. I actually thought it was an amazing organization, and at the time didn't realize that there was a day school program. And I was blown away just by the idea that there was an organization in Boston that was so committed to providing Jewish education to all sorts of different children with different needs.
For so many years, there was no option for kids with special needs. They didn't get a Jewish education. Gateways assures that all of our kids have a Jewish education.
What's fortunate about having Gateways is that it's allowed children to access a Jewish education where they might not have had that opportunity otherwise.
There's no other community in the United States that I know of where if you have a child with a disability and you want them to receive a Jewish education, they could go to any school, any denomination, whether it's Orthodox, Conservative, or Reform, and have the opportunity to have a Jewish education. That's very unique in Boston, and that's only because of Gateways.
Once we found Gateways, it was like a huge chunk of our life with Mira they took care of.
So it was a perfect fit, but I think Gateways also really shed the light for us in terms of how being the only kid with special needs in a setting where you're only with typical kids is not ideal. And what we saw at Gateways was how close she felt to some of the other kids who she was with.
If we don't include kids with special needs as part of our community, we are missing, we are losing, and we are not going to be a whole. Kids with special needs are like anyone else, should be included, should be part of the community.
And from the parental side, it's this weight off your shoulders. It's just like, oh my God, thank you for, relieving us of a huge burden of which we have many. So it's just a tremendous gift to have them.
We should understand that 20% of our population, 1 in every 5 children, has some form of a disability. And as a fair and just Jewish community, our community should be open to everyone. And that happens through organizations like Gateway.
We are very, very lucky to have our child in the community that we live in with an organization that is so capable of providing so much for somebody like him.
I think a lot of people can assume when they see a child in a wheelchair requiring so much assistance that perhaps they're less of a complete human being. What I would like people to know is that there is a completely intact soul in all of these kids. And that's the part that needs to come out, and that's the part that I think Gateways takes a huge part in making happen. I think Mira's bat mitzvah in the synagogue is a huge piece of that, and I think that's what Mira emanated from becoming a bat mitzvah, is that people could see her soul.